Hello, welcome. My name is Aaron Weber. Welcome to Step 1, Start My Unicity Business. But first, a little background on me. I've been involved in this industry, direct selling, for over 30 years. I've done everything within it. In fact, I've even sat on the global governing body of the entire industry. I know this industry. I know how to do it. I've done everything within it, and I have a great breadth and depth of experience. But of all the things I have done or I could do, I choose to do this because this is the most rewarding and, most importantly, this is the most fun. So first, a general introduction. This system, this process, this framework has over 80 years of combined experience behind it. It will be very helpful to you if you follow it. We call it Do X, Get Y. Simply because if you do X, you'll get Y. It's just that simple. What I suggest you do is listen to this a couple of times. First, just listen to it to absorb it. Seek to soak it in. Second, listen to it again and take notes in regards to the things that appeal to you, the action items for you, the things that have importance to you or that just click with you. As you thereafter meet with your sponsor, he or she may highlight certain areas that they feel are extra important, and you will also have an opportunity to ask any questions you have of them. This way you'll begin to learn it. This way you'll begin to become natural in it. Now to the Do X, Get Y system. This website and system has much more breadth and depth than what we're going to be covering right here. This step is an introduction to the principles that underline the steps of success in this business. The first step is Start My Business. In this step, there are a number of proven tasks or points. And we want to take you through this introductory course to the principles that underline each of those. Now you have a choice to make at this stage. You can either focus solely on sharing the products and the benefits they provide, or you can share the entire Unicity business opportunity, which of course includes the products, and you can build a significant income. Again, just to be sure, number one, you can focus on building solely by working with people who buy, use, and thereafter share the great benefits of the products. There is a good business and a solid, genuine opportunity to be had by following this path. Or, two, you can look for, find, and work with and for business builders who do as you're then doing, in finding and training and working with others, as well as with product consumers and resellers. Keep in mind, though, that people will most likely do as you're doing. It's your choice. Either pathway is fine and provides a solid opportunity. Both have proven ways to engage and find success. Follow those proven ways. However, keep in mind the underlying principles to either pathway are the same. The 5 steps are common. The action items and tactics may change slightly, but the principles remain. So as you move forward into the other steps, 2 through 5, select the steps that align with the pathway you've chosen. Again, each of the underlying principles we'll discuss, and the steps specifically apply to either pathway, either for the whole business or in just sharing the products. Where there may be a difference, we'll highlight that difference for you. Point number 1, it's about me. Well, you, that is. It's really all about what's your vision. What's your why? What's your passion? In other words, what's the point? Why are you doing this? Why are you engaging with us to build a Unicity business? The great thing here is that you determine that. You determine the direction, you determine the speed, and you determine the size of business that you want to build. Notice we call this training system Do X, Get Y. That is, if you do X, you'll get Y. This framework or system is about teaching you the skills, the aptitudes and disciplines that constitute that X what you'll do. And this section specifically helps you define your why. Interestingly, that formula can also work backwards. If you know your why, what you want from life or from your Unicity business, we can easily, with you, help you define and do your X. We will help you, we'll teach you, we'll walk with you as together we seek to achieve your goals. Our job is to work with you and for you in the process of achieving those goals. For now, let's just focus on your goals or your why. On this page here is a link to the worksheet we use in that regard. We call it the Get My Why worksheet. I would suggest in a Unicity context and as demonstrated on this sheet, you set goals in 3 areas. Number 1, a health or product benefit for you. The great thing is, here at Unicity, we have that well covered with our wonderful products. Number 2, an income goal. What income do you want to earn with your Unicity business? And again, at Unicity, we have that well covered also. Number 3, personal growth goals. We believe that what you are and how you are growing is a large determinant of success. So set and achieve goals in this area. Now, a few points to note in regards to this worksheet. Number 1, use it. Fill it in after some meaningful thought. Then do what is needed to achieve what you've set. It's that process that is key. In fact, sometimes that process is just as valuable as the goal itself. Number 2, you can use more than one of these sheets if you have more goals than space allows. But also remember that focus has huge value. Number 3, note the items to keep focused on that are listed at the bottom of the sheet. A, time frames. They're almost as important as the goals themselves. B, what is it you'll do to achieve each goal? Make it measurable, make it specific, and be consistent. C, what meaningful milestones do you want to set as interim steps as you progress towards your goal? One may be to become a director. And D, give some thought to what you're prepared to give up in pursuit of your goals. For example, what's maybe holding you back now? What consumes your time less productively now? Back to our list. Number 4, use the data in the industry to your benefit. If having a dream or a goal is worth, say, X, then writing it down and the meaningful pondering involved in that process increases the likelihood of obtaining it by 2 times. Then the data shows if you share that with those who can be helpful or influential, it increases the likelihood of success by 3 times. So write it down and share it appropriately with those around you who can help. Remember to keep these specific, measurable, achievable, and focused. So let's work through some examples for you. A health goal. Maybe you want your weight to be at a certain level. Great. Your cholesterol at a certain level. Your run times or other measurements from the gym to be at a certain level. Great. What will you do to make such a reality? What do you have complete control over in this area that leads you to such? Then do that. Write that down and fill in the worksheet. An income goal. You want the income from your Unicity business to be at X by such and such a month. You want to achieve the rank of director. Write that down. Ponder what you'll consistently do and maybe have to give up in order for that to become a reality. One goal I would highly recommend that may be obvious from the next step video is to end this month, if you've not already, as a manager. That locks in maximum earnings thereafter, as well as a lot of other significant benefits. Do that. End your first month having achieved a great first goal. As a follow-on goal to that, may I also suggest that in your first 90 days or so, you set and achieve the goal of director. Simply put, that's you plus 4 or 5 other managers. Just help folks do what you've just done. You do that within a month, structure it properly with your sponsor's help, and you are well on your way to significant earnings and the building of a great and sustainable team. Now, achieving these 2 ranks, manager and director, may not directly line up with your income goals, but doing one certainly leads towards the other in a meaningful way. Learn these 2 ranks, how to achieve and how to sustain them, and find and help others do likewise. Set those goals, achieve them, enjoy the process towards them, and you and your team are well on your way. A personal growth goal. These are a little harder to measure, but equally as important. In a positive area, what aspect of your life do you want to improve on, augment, and maybe make even a little stronger? In a slightly less positive area, what habit do you want to remove or lessen or negate? What will you do over which you have complete control to assist yourself in achieving such? One thing to keep in mind in this area is that for things to change, you need to change. If you want to get what you've never got, you've got to become something you've never been before. And that's what this area is all about. So, in summary, number 1, what are your goals? Number 2, how can we help? Again, set these goals and provide time frames for your achievement of them. Decide what you're prepared to give up and or do in order to get them. And then, together, we go get them. This is a huge area for your focus and for your success. Point number 2, we call this Who Knows Me? Most times in this industry, if you've had any degree of previous training, you get trained to build a Who Do I Know list. That's good, but we focus on a slightly different list. Who knows me? Now let's be honest, that's probably the exact same list. But when you build the list of people that know you, it changes the perspective. You're pondering the relationship from their perspective. You'll think about, well, how do they know me? What do they think of me? What's the nature of our relationship from their perspective? Building your list by doing this makes for a much more gracious invitation, and we'll speak to that a little bit later on. So you build this list, Who Knows Me? To assist you, a copy of the form that we used is attached as a link or PDF that you can either use directly or as inspiration as you format and build your own list. On there is obviously the issues like their name, their contact details, phone number, email, etc. And which of these is their preferred method of contact. Most importantly, besides their name, is the answer to this question. Why is what you have at Unicity of value to them? Notice what you're doing. You're positioning yourself as a solution provider, not as a seeker of a transaction. You've got their name, you know what we have that is of value to them, you know you want to provide that for them, and this sets up that subsequent invitation. Now, you likely can place more people on this list than you at first realize. Think of all your cell phone contacts. Look through those contacts. Look through your email or online address book. Go through your Facebook account and other areas. You can begin to build that list before you meet with your sponsor. Spend some time pondering who to put on that list, and just as importantly, what priority to put them on there so that you can approach those with the highest interest, in the highest priority, and with the best match for the issues for which you have the solution. Once this list is done and you've begun to use it in extending invitations, your job's not done in this step number 2. You'll want to engage in what we call active list management. That is, as you invite people and they choose to join with you, they will thereafter come off your Who Knows Me list. And that's good. Now the question is, What are you doing to put more names back on that list? This list is a dynamic, organic, growing document that in some way you're always working on. You're taking names off because they're joining you. You're putting names in different places on the list because they may have said, well, no, I'm not quite ready for it now. You help them try and see the value of what we have, and if they don't see that, you don't take them off the list. You just resort them on your list and put them in a different priority for acting on at a later date. This is not a one-time exercise. It is an ongoing skill that you'll get very, very good at. So why are we doing all this list making? You're doing this so that you can invite people, which begs the question, what are you inviting them to? You're inviting them to either of our invitational sites or to a rally. Just follow the direction and counsel of your sponsor in that regard. And we'll cover these options in much more detail in a subsequent video. One tip I would share with you to keep in mind as you build your lists, and especially as you invite people to join with you, is that you assume the correct posture. I'm not talking about sitting up straight and all those sorts of things, though that's always good. What I'm talking about is assuming the posture where you project that you have what they want. Because let me tell you this, you do. You have what your good friends and acquaintances really want. You have the solutions to the big needs in their lives. So assume that posture. Not overly so, but assume the posture of confidence. I have what you want, and I'm happy to share that with you. Point number 3, make my commitment. This step is often ignored or skipped. Please don't. What is a commitment? It's a promise you make to others. More importantly and more specifically, it's a promise you make to yourself. Get in the habit, and yes, it is a habit, become practiced at making and keeping commitments. Commitments are important as they focus you. They help you bring your attention into one area. Treat this like a business. Make that one of your commitments. Block out time each day. Know that you're going to spend a certain number of minutes or hours on this business. Make the time spent be well spent, be focused and productive. Remember, you're giving something up to get something you've never had. If you want to know what is important to you, look at how you spend your time. Review that and change your habits if you need to. Make a commitment in that regard. So what commitment should you be looking to make? Let me make just a few suggestions that you may want to ponder and, if valuable to you, commit to. A dedicated time each day and each week to be set aside to focus on this business. What you're going to do in that time each day, each week, each month. Tracking your progress so that you know you're making progress and you have the inherent motivation that flows from that. Commit to completely professional and ethical behavior. Commit to being the sort of person that you would want to be. More importantly, commit to being the sort of person that you would want to join with. Commit to investing in yourself. You are the primary asset. So make a commitment, make a plan, and commit yourself to that plan that you're going to invest in yourself to make yourself the best possible version of you that you can be. Make a commitment to stick with it. Life has its ebbs and flows, its ups and downs. The great thing is that overall, the trend is generally upwards. Most importantly, make a commitment and become practiced at keeping such. Now, these are just suggestions, but ones that I believe will add great value to you and to your business if you make and keep them. Point number 4, review and become familiar with my tools. As it is in any trade or business, you've got tools at your disposal. They are here to help you. You use them as you do what you need to do. They're carefully thought through. They work if you will use them. You should become familiar with, and you've got to, most importantly, use the tools that are available to you. They'll make you better. Now remember, this is just an introduction to these tools. I'll cover the primary ones, and there are many others. And my recommendation to you is to spend some time in the next little while becoming very familiar with all the tools that are available to you. You may not become expert in using them for now. You will in time. But here I'm just focused on letting you know what's available to you. The first tool we call the product presentation website. It's designed to help you acquire and retain customers. It's focused on that customer up, product first process and mindset. It's designed to help you share the products and to share and build and validate people's belief in them. The second big tool is our business presentation website. It includes a great introduction video, some more details on the products and the business generally, and a great next step video. It'll take you and your prospects by the hand and walk you and them through who we are and what we've got. The next tool is our system training website. You're here now. This is how we teach you and your people how we do things around here. This is how we set that pattern for you and them to follow. This, quite literally and ideally, is our putting our arm around you and saying, let's move forward together, or let's achieve your goals together. The resources here are rich and deep and relevant to you, and they will continue to be so for your business. The content will get added to as time goes along. The base content will remain the same because there's huge value in consistency. But the extra resources, video blogs, and other areas will be continually added to. More depth and breadth will be available to you. More importantly, the resources here are designed so you can become what you need to become to grow and lead a rapidly growing, vibrant, consistent, and wonderful business. Come back to this site frequently as that new content is loaded. Come back and do refresher courses on this material. Teach others using it. Become very familiar with this part of your toolkit. The last one I will cover here is the Unicity corporate website. This is the company-provided website. That is where you go to place your orders, to check your volume, to do your transactions. Unicity does a great job in their infrastructure. It is what we use or leverage in our businesses. They're our corporate partners. They do a great job. And as we do our job equally as well, as we access what they provide and what's provided elsewhere, the partnership becomes powerful. It becomes that place where you get the synergy of 2 or 3 parties, me and you and the company working together, where great things can happen. Point number 5 on this list may appear very simple and very easy. My fear, therefore, is it's very easy to skip. Please don't. And that step is to establish my monthly auto refill. This is key. Unicity's products must be used to work. You must have them to use them. And they don't work sitting on your shelf. And so you need to get those products and use them. And if you're going to get them and you need to order a certain amount each month, and you do, why not just do it in a maximally convenient way? Have them arrive at your door automatically. You have complete control as to what and when and how items are shipped. And having these products mean you'll more likely use them in your life and in your business to become that product of the product. You want to be doing the things you're asking others to do. You want to be walking the talk. One of those things is to have this standing order, your auto refill. You should lead by example. Do what you know you need to do. Do what you know you're going to be asking others to do. Know how much PV or personal volume is required in your market. Do at least that amount on auto refill. The compensation plan requires that you do. My suggestion is also to do that required volume early in the month. Get it done. You know you've got to do it in that month, so get it done early and automatically. Then you can turn your attentions to others and be more helpful and undistracted as you help them build their business. Also, use this feature to begin to build your structure. If you're doing your qualifying PV and you're doing it on auto refill, and your frontline people, let's assume 3, are doing likewise, guess what? You're qualified in terms of your team volume. That requirement for 500 team volume is therefore met. I would suggest the Prime Health Pack as a key item for your auto refill. It has the absolute best products we have. They are the ones that you should take every day. I believe these are the ones that everyone should take every day. They are what we focus on for a reason. They're our top-selling products. They deal in the huge, growing, specific, and measurable needs in the marketplace. Then you can add to that order whatever else you want to use. Now again, keep in mind, with auto refill, you have complete control. You have complete flexibility. It's all in your hands. What you receive, when you receive it, and even if you receive it, it's entirely up to you. But make sure you and your people have that standing auto refill in place. Point number 6, define and work my daily action plan. The pattern of consistent daily action is what drives this business. It is vital. It sometimes really doesn't matter as much what you do as to how much and how consistently you do it. What matters most is that you do what you do consistently on a daily basis. Make the plan and work the plan. And then I would suggest return and report. Return and report your actions of that day. Track your data. Record your activity. Secure in the knowledge that you know what you've done. So you know you're keeping that commitment you made to yourself. Return and report to your sponsor, your mentor. Let them know that you're doing, that you're on track. Counsel with them as to maybe how you could be more effective and more productive. Remember, there's value in accountability. There's value in self-accountability. Learn and practice the skill of holding yourself accountable. There is a difference between what we call prime time activities and non-prime time activities. Sending emails to your upline or the company, asking a few questions, reading a newsletter are all wonderful activities, but they're non-prime time. Do as your first priority the things that are most productive and are the higher priorities. Other items can be deferred. For example, listening to this recording could be deferred to a non-prime time. Move other investing in yourself activities to a time that maybe isn't quite as productive. The early mornings or later evenings, when maybe you can't do that interacting with other people. Remember to prioritize. Remember to do the prime time activities during prime time. And do the other activities that are maybe just as important but less time specific during times that are not quite so prime. You need to align your daily action plan with where you want to go. Do what you have complete control over. Focus your activities on the things that you know you can and should and want to do, and then return and report. Let me share with you a key activity and the mathematics or algebra associated with it. If you extend 2 invitations per day, my suggestion is, and the data shows over decades of experience, that will likely lead to 2 productive presentations or conversations per week, which in turn will lead to 2 people joining you per month. And they will join you at the exact same place and level that you began. If you start as a manager, they will also. Duplication. People do what you do. That's the key activity. That's the daily action plan portion over which you have complete control. Extending those 2 invitations on a consistent daily basis. That's the high priority, prime time activity. Getting those invitations extended. Likewise, following up, I would recommend at least twice on those invitations, is a critical prime time activity. If you follow that pattern and you do that consistently by daily extending those invitations and following up on previous invitations, you will be successful. On this page is a link to download a PDF, that is the Daily Action Plan Tracker that we use to help guide you in focusing in on the key activities and tracking your data so that you can return and report accurately to yourself and to your mentor. Point number 7, meet my business partners. This is a team sport. Make sure you have their contact details and have been introduced to the following key people. Number 1, your sponsor or your mentor. 2, your sponsor's sponsor. And 3, your next upline presidential. These are 3 people that are key to you and to your business. They are key to your success. And their job is to work with and for you. Know them, know their contact details, and be comfortable in asking for their assistance. Keep in mind, they can't and they shouldn't do it for you, but they can certainly be helpful to you as you put forth your best effort. If you will, they are accelerators. They will help you do what you're doing better, faster, more efficiently, and with a higher return on your investment or effort. Then, in turn, your job is to be that for others. Now, on to step number 2.